deep thing because we're in the middle of New England where it's like, oh yeah, New Hampshire's 7 hours away from me, but it's still the same place. Speaking of the same place, we've got the red team, green team here, Yoshi, Snake, Lucina, Palutena. This is kind of a wonky set of 4 characters to be holding out here.
I think Snake is one of the best characters that you're ever going to be able to find in doubles because Snake is a zoner, and sometimes you can just rely on your partner being able to set up one side of the stage for you. But once again, everybody, welcome to Grand Finals here. We got Bobo and Myles on the loser side here, so they're going to have to win 6 games to take it home. And this is a very hard team to fight against, right? Jen, one of the still the most solid Palutena that I think we have on the East Coast right now. I mean, is getting back into it. A lot of people don't know that this guy was Area 51 in the first ranking. So honestly, still so solid. Will be Myles losing the first stock though, as honestly, I love how Jen is really all over them.
And in this team comp, right, like the composition provided by Mr. E and Jen's team, right, you just have fantastic disjoints, really good fundies, whereas as with the Snake Yoshi team, you're looking for a lot more, right? You're looking for those setups. You're looking to really abuse the fact that Yoshi is just going to have that incredible air acceleration, and Snake is, both these characters are very good at killing, but also Snake very flexible in that zone he controls, right? You mentioned before, and great CQC tools, so it can kind of be flexible to support the Yoshi, but whereas instead Jen and Mr. E just a lot more of this, like, okay, I'm going to 1v1 you and separate these 1v1s and just outplay you.
You can tell already, though, the Myles and Bobo is definitely static. You can tell that they have the throws off of each other as well. Myles trying to get a dunk onto Jen, but it's not going to be enough. But look at it, right? Bobo in position on the platform, and then Myles going to be able to follow it up. It didn't net a stock, but honestly, it's good kind of the gotcha experience, right? Like they know how to cover each other. They always have to be weary of each other, especially as doubles players.
And that egg from Myles was so smart. He angled it just past the ledge, sniping out Bobo. Ordinarily, you wouldn't want to do that, but it knocked Bobo just away from Jen, and Bobo's still living for that. Myles hasn't lost a stock yet either, but keeps getting sent coast to coast to coast to coast. It feels like he's getting played in a game of Pong, finally going into the blast zone, and Mr. E and Jen trying desperately to establish a solid lead here. They've got a stock, but with these percents, it might not be for long.
Honestly, I'm just still looking at Jen here, sitting at 122. Very, very not safe, especially for Palutena. Trying to find the up air, but there's the explosion. Mr. E is going to go with it, going for the throw, but like I said, Myles is always there to cover for his teammate. It's going to be Eric who's actually going to be the one to opt to take the front line, which I think is very smart. I think Lucina definitely has some frontline capabilities, but I love the way that Palutena has a little bit more of a disjoint as well to kind of pick up from behind. Good coverage, though, by Jen, and now unfortunately just going to get blown up here. The tides have turned, but they could turn right back very quickly.
The C4 there at ledge, so smart, right, from Bobo. Oh, kind of realizing Jen was caught in a jump and falling right as Mr. E wanted to get up from ledge, saying, this is a checkmate situation where I'm going to hit one of the two of you with this C4. Or Snake, right, so good at covering his own options, but not great. DI is going to put him out of the picture permanently. And just like that, Mr. E and Jen just get to play the ping pong, 1v1 here, batting Yoshi back and forth, and I don't know how Myles gets away from this.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think ping pong was loaded onto our game cards here at Dave & Buster's. This is definitely not what Myles signed up for here. But honestly, looking for the up smash. Still, Mr. E going to be able to cover just a little bit. This is not impossible for Myles, right? Yoshi with a little bit of rage can do a lot here. But you're going up against Palutena and Mr. E, who's going to be able to secure that first game. Game 1 going on over to AITX, boys. But it was very, very close.
Yep. And I love, right, that even though it didn't work out, right, it cost them the game. The attempt at that egg light from Myles was so smart. He hadn't really thrown one out all game, and it has a much larger range than a lot of Yoshi's melee options, allowing you to kind of contest that disjoint from Lucina. However, just misspacing it, right? A little hard to be that on the nose without any prep, any practice in that matchup right on the bat, and just fantastic spacing on the Dolphin Slash to close it out. Yoshi double jump armor, though, also could be huge here in this set, right? Allowing you to get away from the juggles that are primary in both Lucina and Palutena's game plan. So it's not something we really saw Myles take great advantage of in Game 1, and something I'm really looking forward to seeing maybe more of here in Game number 2.
Okay, small battlefield is going to be the choice once again here. So far, so good from both sides here. Mr. E choosing to kind of take on Bobo here. And here's the thing about doubles that sometimes I really hate is when we get into this 1v1 mentality, right? Because then it's not really teams at that point. It's, oh, we're playing 1v1s, and sometimes I'll look if you're in trouble here. Myles, though, is starting to kind of like look into where Bobo is, but honestly, when you got Lucina and Palutena, kind of these day one Smash Ultimate bosses kind of flying at you, it's really, really hard.
Yep, and exactly as you said, right, those disjoints from Palu, from Lucina, so incredibly good, but great C4 placing, right? Mr. E just losing track of it a little bit and getting called out for his jump through the platform. C4 so good on this stage because of how low those platforms are, right? It hits your character whether you're below or on top of it and just takes away that whole lane of space.
All right, dash attack not going to be enough to get Bobo out of here. 171. Snake is very, very heavy here. But honestly, both the red team just trying to target him right now. The explosive flame will get him out of here. Myles, though, has to live a little bit longer, too. You definitely don't want to be dropping the stock. Right now, it's even, and Yoshi can hold on. But you got to look at Mr. E's shield right now. A little bit small here as Jen is taking care of Bobo on the other side.
And both players looking for the juggle on Myles. But the fact that they both went for it meant that they kind of had to back off as to not hit each other, and really is what allowed Myles to get back down to stage. So their antsiness kind of backfiring, and both of them now caught on the same platform, and we're seeing a little bit of team miscommunication here as they got caught on the same platform again. It led into a juggle and Jen's stock. Finally closing it out from Bobo, but you've got to clean that up if you want to close this game out.
Finding the up air that gets rid of that stock from Myles here. Green team now trailing a game behind. I just feel like that Mr. E and Jen, they're winning the 1v1s. It's not all of these like crazy team combos. Not a lot of throws are leading into each other. I actually think the green team is a little bit better than that. But it's just the fact that red team is winning the 1v1s and then coming in with the assists when they see them. That's working out. But it will be Bobo finding the stock on Jen right now. And honestly, Mr. E a little bit of trouble on the other side of the stage. But unfortunately, neutral B is the wrong way. But loses the stock for it.
Yeah, that up tilt right coming out frame 6 took both Jen and Mr. E's stocks. Really the move that's keeping green team in this game. Now though, on their last stocks at 140, they're going to try very hard to force this 2v1 with Myles against Bobo here. Maybe, but the spike on Mr. E not going to find it just yet. Again, these 1v1s being forced so well from Jen and Mr. E, really not giving the window for those team combos that Myles and Bobo want to thrive on.
That was such an unfortunate C4 hit too, because you definitely know, but honestly, Jen looking for the back air. There's the up air that doesn't exactly hit Bobo, but it does hit Myles here. We are getting so close, but there's the C4, and it's now going to be up for Mr. E here to kind of make sure that they stay strong, but look at the positioning as well. Let's see the throw combo. There's no throw. You know what? Just get the simple back air. We're even 1-1.
Yep, and the thing is, too, like, if you air dodge to try and get away from that back air, ordinarily, right, in singles, you're like, okay, I can air dodge, right, Yoshi's committed, I'll be able to make it back. But in doubles, there's a snake standing right behind you. As soon as that air dodge comes out, he just hits that side B button, puts that that missile on his shoulder, right, fires that Nikita and just chases you down without those resources. So, fantastic job, right, by Myles and Bobo. They're making the adjustments, finding those windows to checkmate with C4, right? They used it so many times as a pressure tool to force a bad defensive option that allowed then Myles to get the punish, get the pressure, or vice versa, right? Really utilizing the pressure from one to set up the ability to capitalize from the other. And the question is, how are Mr. E and Jen going to adjust here going into Game 3, trying to find counterpick advantage in this set?
I mean, there is no stage counterpick for sure. It's going to be small battlefield for quite possibly the entire day at this point.
I mean, that's how you know they're from New York City, right?
Regardless, though, so far, red team and green team pretty even in percents. I have to say, it's really just coming down to some of these micro interactions with Snake C4. I mean, C4 has been kind of the weird equalizer, taking some stocks from green team, taking some stocks from red team. It will be red team, though, who fires out first. Bobo is going to lose that first stock. But once again, we're kind of back in these one-to-ones here.
Yep, that ability, right, of C4 to occupy just static space, right, take away a platform, bisect the stage, and make you scared. squared is terrifying. Yeah, it takes, right, I think 12 frames to detonate once you press that trigger. However, it also just detonates by itself after 26.5 seconds. So if you lose track, if you're like, I don't know exactly what second this is placed on, and you're not looking at the timer, suddenly you just see it there and it's looming, it's been there a while, and you're like, oh no, I gotta avoid this. And you just can't always. Speaking of not being able to avoid it, though, Gen gonna go down to stock, and Green Team trying to keep it close, but just barely not gonna manage to do so. Bobo unfortunately losing stock. Mr. E finally losing that first one.
I was very surprised that Gen was playing the last edge guard on the other side of the stage so like far back, because Mr. E was kind of struggling there and Gen was like, you got it, and honestly he flipped it out. But like we were talking about, Bobo now unfortunately on the last stock already. I mean, Snake is very, very sturdy though, so Snake is going to be able to live some of these interactions, but it looks like Gen has kind of taken the Snake responsibility onto them. Going to switch here. There's the back air, but this double jump armor coming into bat here. There's the back air though, and honestly, gonna take the stock. Honestly, you have to at this point.
Yeah, right. When you're down so much, even though 73 isn't where you'd want to switch, it was at 66 when he got hit, and you know, you just can't be down 3 stocks to 2 and say, okay, you're gonna 2v1 for these whole 3. The C4 gonna do it though, calling him out, but it's gonna call out his teammate, and just unfortunate.
That's the hard part about playing with Snake, right? That's kind of like the what's it called? Reading in between the lines. In between the lines is, hey, you also have to be very careful of where Snake projectiles is. That's not the first time that has happened this set. Look for the down air. Mr. E trying to get a little bit stylish here at this point. But honestly, Snake is stuck between 2 of some of the best characters that was in this game on launch here, and it's so difficult. There's the down throw, though. If there's one character that can do it, Ritual, it can be Snake. Snake controls a lot of area, but honestly, with 3 stocks and now you're almost already done for, it's looking a little hard. Yeah,
he controls a lot of area, but he does also struggle, right, historically with playing from behind.
Best of 3?
He wants to set, that's going to be the set.
It's grand.
He wants to set up